Good morning. Again. Welcome to Horizon Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is April Barlow. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am serving as your worship associate this morning. I'm joined by our worship leader, Lauren Daniel, whose pronouns are she, her, hers. We are excited to welcome you to our worship service and to have you with us today. Whether you're joining us in person or virtually, whether you're here for the first time or whether you've been here for longer than you can remember. Here at Horizon, we welcome people of all faiths and of no faith in particular. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome among us. Please be our guest after the service for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall. As a community, we also welcome the sharing of joys, sorrows, and concerns. You are welcome to fill out a joys and sorrows slip located on the table near the Welcome Center, in the pockets of chairs, and on the joys and sorrows table in the front of the sanctuary, and/or you are welcome to light a candle. This can be done at any time before the service or in service from the beginning through the offertory. As we prepare for our service this morning, please take a moment to set your cell phones and other electronic devices to worship mode. Young families are always welcome to worship together, but today there is no time for all ages, and any children still present in the sanctuary may go to their classrooms at this time. Today's worship leader is Horizon's Director of Religious Education, Lauren Daniel. Lauren, I know. Lauren has been a UU longer than she can remember. A former modern languages teacher, Lauren has taught all levels from preschool through college, and this gives her a unique perspective on how people of all ages learn and how young and old can learn from each other.
Now I can see you. Good morning. My name is Tina Strobel. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and they, them, theirs. And if you don't know why, go to an OWL class. I work with the children that are ages 6 through 12, and I teach OWL in the levels of K1 and 4-6. We support not only the children and youth, but the families as well as they navigate growing up. Teaching in RE has filled my spirit and my soul with personal relationships and with the children, individuals, and with some of the youth and with the families. I hope that I have made the difference in their lives that they have made in mine. We provide here at Horizon in RE developmentally appropriate curriculums that have creative activities and games that allow for lots of movement and food for thought, questions, those big questions. We incorporate our values to provide spiritual development for both the students and the teachers. Thank you, and you can sign up in the lobby or with Lauren to become one of the teachers that make a difference in the children's lives here. And I can guarantee you, you will have fun and your heart will grow 2 times. So sign up.
Now, let us enter into sacred time with these words from Jason Cook, the great teachers in life. We are seekers on a quest to discover truth and meaning. Sometimes we think we found it, wrapped up, glimmering in newness, straight off the intellectual assembly line. All the answers right here for us, and others, if they'd only listen. But truth has a way of coming in disguise, sometimes wearing rags and sometimes finery, but so often cloaked from our immediate sight. And sometimes that which we have rejected, that which we have let go of or decided was only for others, but not for us, can be our teacher. Let our time together in worship be an acknowledgement of the never-ending journey towards truth and meaning, and our appreciation of those we learned from along the way. Come, let us worship together.
Our chalice is Horizon's traditional children's chalice lighting. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Good job. Please join me in our affirmation, which is printed on the back of your order of service and projected on the screen. Love is the doctrine of our church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth, thus do we covenant together. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 339 in the gray hymnal, Knowledge, They Say.
They say drives wonder from the world. They say it's still though the dust ablaze, with marvels at their feet, while Newton's law foretold that knowledge one day shall be sown. We seem like children wandering by the shore, gathering pebbles colored by the wave, while the great sea of truth from earth to sky stretches before us, boundless, unexplored.
We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space for all ages. We give with the faith that together we have enough. Thank you to our members and friends who give and pledge electronically. If you would like to give electronically, you may do so on the Breeze app or online at horizonuu.org/donate. The offering will now be joyfully given and received. Thank you for your generosity.
We've cleared off the table, leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I've told you a story, tucked you in tight at the end of your knockabout day, as the moon sets its sails to carry you to sleep over the midnight sea. I will sing you a song no one sang to me. May it keep you good company. Oh, you can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can You can dream all the day, never reaching the end of everything possible for you. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they'll give the same back to you. Oh, you can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know that I will love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, you can choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done.
A reading from Gary Kowalski. Children widen the circle of our being in ways that are limitless. Every baby that's born connects us to our history, our own parents, grandparents, and unknown forebears who brought new life to the world in each successive generation. Every baby that's born links us to the future, to a world yet to come that belongs to our descendants, and that we hold in trust for our posterity, whom we will never know. Each child connects us to nature, to the innocence and exuberance of a world always hatching newborns, kittens and pups and lambs and babes. Each child reminds us of the kinship we share with people of other lands and races who love their young as purely and tenderly as we do. Each child connects us to the universe, to the holy mysteries of birth and death and becoming, from which we all emerge. Children widen the circle of our being in ways that are limitless.
All right, I wanted to start. This is not a time for all ages. I actually have some questions for you. How would you characterize a child or a young learner? What words come to mind? And you can just raise your hand and I'll point to you and you can yell them out. Curious. A sponge. Oh, look, our worship associate has something. Silly. Okay. Honest. How about somebody over here? A lot? Okay, that's good. Now, let's switch to adult learners, and especially think about older adult learners. What are words you associate with older people and learning? Oh, this will be interesting. Okay, go ahead. Realistic. Okay. What else? Competitive? Repetitive? Okay, thank you. Oh, fear of failure. Yeah, for sure. Any others for our adult learners? Skeptical.
Inelastic.
Oh, inelastic? Oh, yeah, interesting. Okay, one more.
Let's see. I'm going to say rebirth is what I mean.
Oh, rebirth. Okay, that's very interesting. Well, let me go ahead back to the pulpit.
So I found your answers very interesting, and a couple were unexpected. Oftentimes, we attribute more positive characteristics to children when they learn, don't we? Because sometimes they call adult learners rigid, set in their ways, maybe their neuroplasticity is starting to degrade, things like that. But I'm so glad that you also mentioned some of the wonderful aspects of adult learners. Some of this about children and adults might be true, but I firmly believe there is never an end to learning. And whether or not you feel stuck in your ways or wonder if you have lost some of that neuroplasticity, I think hearing about one of my Unitarian forebears, religious educator, author, curriculum writer, college professor, and minister, Sophia Line-Faz, might give any young people and any older people in here a new outlook and new ways to deepen your spiritual life. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Sophia Line-Faz. So she was born on August 2nd, 1876, and her parents were Presbyterian missionaries in China. And then when she was about 3, they moved to Worcester, Ohio, and she was raised in a strictly evangelical atmosphere where Sundays were devoted to Sunday school and Bible study. And when she went to college, Sophia joined a student organization to become an aspiring Christian educator. And that's where she met Harvey Faz. And they were going to go off and become missionaries, but they ended up staying in New York. And she continued to teach Sunday school at that time. In 1904, she gave birth to their first child, and she actually went on with Harvey to have 5 children, and that what really changed her outlook on life. So she resisted the convention at the time to drop out of professional and academic life, and instead she remained engaged in both teaching and learning, and you can see some of the facts about what a learned person she was. Motherhood, in fact, became a new kind of education for her. Through observing and listening to her children, she discovered fresh insights into how children think, feel, and engage with life's biggest questions. So when her kids would ask her things like, "Where were we before we were born?" Sophia didn't answer with pat answers. She didn't answer them automatically. What she did is she took their questions very seriously, even when they were very young, and reflected deeply on them. In that process, she realized how much she didn't know herself. This uncertainty didn't weaken her faith. In fact, it deepened it. She came to believe that asking sincere, meaningful questions could be just as important as finding the answers. For her, a living faith wasn't about having all the answers, but about engaging personally with the mysteries of life with honesty and openness. And so Sophia continued to teach, continued to take classes and get degrees, but when she was teaching a Sunday school class, she's told a story from the Christian scriptures. And it was about another culture. And the children were captivated. Like her own children at home, they were eager to explore the story's meaning and ask thoughtful questions. Their engagement reassured Sophia that storytelling and curiosity were powerful tools for spiritual growth. And you might notice that we here in the pulpit often use stories. I use stories all the time, right? There's a reason for that. And then as she matured, Sophia's understanding of a religion evolved. In her youth, she believed Christianity was the one true religion, and that everyone should learn stories from the Bible. But over time, she came to see that many religious and cultural traditions contained wisdom, beauty, and truth. And she began to collect stories from all around the world, too. And there's a really famous yellow book that we have in our library called From Long Ago in Many Lands, when she assembled all those stories. So at that time, you gotta remember, children were seen as a tabula rasa, a blank slate, an empty vessel to fill with knowledge. But Sophia saw things differently. She believed that children were more like gardens, and they already were seeded with the potential for insight, creativity, and spiritual growth. A teacher's role, in her view, was to provide a nurturing environment, like being a gardener. And with good soil, sunlight, and water nurturing, that would allow those seeds to flourish. In religious education, that meant creating a space for children to explore, to ask questions, and experience faith in ways that were meaningful to them. And so she believed that no one could give a child a faith or wisdom. Those things must have come from in. And those things were done by creating spaces and using tools like books, music, art, stories, and showing, and reflecting on justice, goodness, and compassion, wrestling with those big questions. And so Sophia did catch the attention of the president of the American Unitarian Association, and he invited her to speak to Unitarian religious educators, and her message resonated. Sunday school teachers embraced her approach, which was rooted in experience, exploration, and deep respect for each child's spiritual capacity. And at the age of 82, Sophia was ordained as a Unitarian minister, and her life embodied her core belief that every person, child or adult, should continue learning, growing, and evolving spiritually. She lived to the age of 102 and never stopped engaging with new ideas. So I wonder if she were here today, looking at us, our children, and our adult learners, she would be eager to hear about our experiences. She would ask how our stories, reflections, and questions have helped us grow. She would celebrate the ways we continue to explore our own spiritual paths. In many ways, the work we do together at Horizon, asking questions, seeking meaning, and honoring each person's journey, carries forward her legacy of faithful curiosity and spiritual growth. Now, we're going to take time to honor the joys and sorrows of this community, knowing we all are interconnected and that what affects one affects us all. This is a sorrow from Minica. Horizon members attended a film on Palestine on Friday. Let our hearts be with those suffering in Palestine. This person wishes peace and comfort for people who are wrongfully detained, deported, or denied food. And we have a few joys too. Here is a joy for the 35th anniversary of the passing of the Americans with Disabilities Act, July 26, 1990. And this is from Lisa. They're very excited about a baby. It is a joy that our great nephew, who was born prematurely at 2 pounds 3 ounces, is 2 months old and 5 pounds and 4 ounces and thriving. And I also have a kind of a personal / professional joy. After service, I'd invite you, if you're not going to the games afternoon, I'd invite you to go to see the East classroom, the classrooms on the East Wing. There's been a lot of work to get that modernized, and we have new floors, and so that's wonderful. You need to go down and see them. And last of all, we're going to light a final candle this morning to honor all the joys and sorrows which have gone unspoken and reside only in our hearts. So please join me in the spirit of prayer and a meditation that feels comfortable to you. It will be followed by a responsive hymn, 1009 in the hymnal, in the teal hymnal, Meditation on Breathing. Breathing is the very essence of our existence. The air we breathe in and out, it surrounds us and envelops us. And during this meditation today, I invite you to let your eyes unfocus or even close. Feel yourself sink more deeply into your seat, and then sink deeper. Extend your feet to the ground or as close to the ground as you can, and feel the earth below your body. Feel yourself connected to the ground. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. This sustains us, and yet we give it very little thought. Church is one of those places where we have an opportunity to just slow down and breathe. When we pay attention to our breathing, our bodies relax. Slow down and breathe deep with me. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. When we relax into our breathing, we feel ourselves slowing down and calmness spreading in our bodies. Breathe in peace and breathe out love. Amen.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe.
Before we have our second reading today, I just want you to know it's from a children's curriculum called Spirit Play, and April and I will retell it in what is called the Spirit Play style, meaning retold both in word and picture. It's a methodology partially based on Sophia Lyon-Faz's approach to faith development. As a longtime UU and religious educator, I love using Spirit Play to conduct class because it, evokes an atmosphere of sacredness and allows people of any age to wrestle with those existential questions while honoring and deepening their individual spiritual paths. And at the end of a story, there are going to be open-ended questions that lead you, the listener, to reflect on your reaction to the story. For children, we name these wondering questions, and you will be asked these questions too, and will answer for yourself. And before we start the story, one character in the story is named God, and that word can be understandably hard for many of us, depending on our theology and our past experiences. And if this word is problematic for you, I am going to give you a tool which reflects our UU shared value of pluralism. When we talk about God with children in Spirit Play, we will call it God, and sometimes also call God the mystery, or preface the name with the words, the spirit of love and mystery, that some people call God. In your minds, while listening, please use whichever word works best for you. So April and I are going to go ahead and start the story.
Our reading today is a story by Mary Ann Moore named Hide and Seek with God. Once upon a time, God said, "I'm bored because I don't have anything to do. I want to play with my friends." And because God is God, as soon as the words were spoken, poof, God's friends were there. When God saw them all gathered, God said, "I've been bored because I haven't had anything to do. Let's play something." "Good idea," said God's friends. "What shall we play?" God thought for a minute and then said, "I know, let's play hide and seek." The friends all said, "Yay!" They knew that hide and seek with God was always exciting and different because God was the one who hid, and God always thought of wonderful places to hide. God's friends closed their eyes tight and counted to 10. When they opened their eyes, God wasn't there anymore. So they all went off to look for God. One friend decided to look close on the earth and soon came to a meadow. As he was searching, he stopped to admire the tender new sprouts of green grass pushing their way up toward the sun. As he bent over to look more closely at the tender green, he realized there was something special and amazing and wonderful about it. So he jumped up and ran back to home base, calling out, "I found God! God is green and growing. I found God in the grass." Another one of God's friends decided to look for God in the night. She watched the sun go down, heard the workaday noises stop, and saw the lights in the houses go out. As it got darker and the peaceful night wrapped itself around her, she listened very hard, and then she realized there was something special and amazing and wonderful about it. And when it was so still that she could hear and see nothing at all, she suddenly jumped up and ran to home base, calling out, "I found God! God is dark and peaceful. I found God in the night." A third friend looked on the earth and felt the mystery of the grass growing toward the sun. He stayed and watched the night come on, and he felt the mystery of the darkness and the stars. He thought to himself, "These mysteries are special and amazing and wonderful." But when he finally came back to home base, he said, "I found wonderful mysteries, but I'm not sure I want to call them God." A fourth friend decided to look for God where people were. He joined a group of people going home from work and went with them into the store where they bought food. He went with them back out on the street as they started for their homes. He was with them when someone came up and said, "Please, I'm very hungry. Could you share a little food with me?" The people readily agreed, and as he watched them share, he realized there was something special and amazing and wonderful about those people. He turned around and ran to home base, calling out, "I found God! God is love and sharing. I found God in people who care for others." Finally, two more of God's friends decided to look for God together. After a time, they came to a house and decided to look for God in the house. In the house, they saw a room, and they looked for God in the room. In the room, they saw a mirror, and they looked for God in the mirror. As they looked into the mirror, they realized there was something special and amazing and wonderful being reflected in it. They turned around and ran to home base, calling out, "We found God! We found God in us." At this, God appeared again and said, "I had so much fun." Weren't those good hiding places? Some of you found me. Others weren't sure, and others are still looking. That's okay, because the most important thing is just to play the game. Let's do it again. I'm sure I can think of some other good hiding places. And they all called out, "Ollie, ollie, oxen free," and the game started all over again. I wonder what your favorite part of the story was. I wonder where you have found the spirit of love and mystery. I wonder where you are in this story.
So, if you were in a spirit play class right now, I would tell you now it's time to choose your work. Work time is a time set aside for you to process the story and the meanings of what it personally meant to you at this time. There's no right way to do it. There's no correct answer, and everyone will have a different answer, and that's okay. If you were children, I would say work time is a time to become quiet and talk to the spirit of love and mystery inside you. It's a time to think about what the story means to you and listen to what the Spirit tells you about the story. At the tables, and we'll be inviting you to get up if you're able and move to a table. There's some supplies on the side. Of course, there's some supplies on our hands-on worship table.
But I'm going to invite you, if you can, to stand up or assist somebody who maybe has mobility issues. And please do some work. You're going to be given about 10 or 15 minutes for you to react to the story. You could journal about it and listen to what the Spirit says. You could sculpt with some of the Play-Doh that's around. Maybe make a collage with the pictures my volunteers cut out for you on Friday. You could paint. There are watercolors. You could draw. You could read a book or a poem or a meditation manual. You can create a mandala with the objects and the black circles. You could color one in. Or you could just sit in silence and meditation. Now, it's your turn to decide. What would you like your work to be today? You'll have about 10, 15 minutes or so to process the story with the items at your tables. And I'm hoping April, but for sure I am going to be coming around to take some pictures, and we'll look at them at the end of this time. So where are you in this story? Let's go ahead and put the slide up to remind us of what the story was. And let's go ahead and start your work.
So now you may continue your work if you'd like. I have a feeling we have maybe some photos from people's work. Is that correct? Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at them to see how people reacted to the story, Hide and Seek with God.
Well, thank you so much for working so assiduously and putting your own interpretation in the story. I hope that was a very meaningful experience for you who are here in the sanctuary today.
We extinguish this flame, but not our commitment to welcome radically, love boldly, grow spiritually, and serve courageously. This we do because we envision a beloved community filled with compassion, helping all to thrive in a just world. I would like to invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, hymn number 338, in the gray hymnal, I Seek the Spirit of a Child.
I seek the spirit of a child, the child who meets life naturally, the child who sings the world aloud and greets the morning sun with glee. Children are real beyond all art. May our seed joys a gift to our heart. I seek the freedom of a child who loves instinctively, who lights our day with just a smile and shines that light on all we see. Children are real beyond all fears. May our sea hopes a gift to our tears. I seek the wonder of a child who sees delightfully. No clouds in cloud, no golden sun, imaginations true and free. Children are real beyond all lies. May our see faith's a gift to our eyes.
Our benediction this morning is by Kathy Smith. As you depart this morning,
May that which has been among us today, an appreciation of learning, the joy of wonder, the calm spirit of peace, the spirit of love and mystery, go with you until we meet again. Remember, you are limitless. Amen, and go in peace.